Hello guys, this is an unboxing of the Microsoft Surface Pro 8 with the keyboard, and I'm doing this with my dad.
So this is the new Microsoft Surface Pro 8. This is the first day that you can get it from the pre-order. You can see that this version that we have is the Surface Pro 8. It's 11th gen Intel, Core i7, 16 gigabyte RAM, and a 256 gigabyte SSD, and it came in the platinum color. And as well, it comes with the keyboard, as you can see, with the built-in new slim pin that's built into the keyboard that has the ultrasonic chip in there that causes it to feel like you're writing on paper when you're writing on the Surface itself. So we'll be unboxing both of these today. So this is the same keyboard for both the Surface Pro 8 as well as the Surface Pro X. So that came over from the X line to the Surface Pro line. This one comes, as you can see, with Windows 11 out of the box. So this is the first time that we'll get to experience Windows 11 in person as well. The packaging is pretty nice. It came with a tab, as you can see there, and you can just take and pull this open, and it pulls off the plastic wrap, so you don't have to fight to get the plastic wrap off, and then you can just pull it off pretty easily. So very nice packaging that they have there. So you can see as it opens up here.
Another tab.
Yeah, another tab. You can see the icons. It's sort of showing you where everything is on the Surface, just acquainting you with that. So Lauren, why don't you take us through sort of what each one of these means?
So I'm guessing it's the microphone.
Yep.
That's the Face ID, the camera, I guess another microphone, the power button, and then two Thunderbolts. Yeah.
So Thunderbolt 4 and USB-C form factor.
And
power.
The power, and then we have the over here on, we have the volume to turn it up, volume down, and the headphone jack.
Yep. Why don't you go ahead and pull that open for us?
See how this is.
So you just pull it open like that.
The Surface itself.
Yep, that comes off.
And it has a wider screen.
Yeah, so this one, in comparison to the previous Surface Pros, they put a wider screen there. You might not be able to see that quite on the video, but it does have a wider screen. As Lauren mentioned, it's got the dual mic on it, which is really great. What they call the Surface Pro line really did well with this, and they brought that over to the Surface Studio line. It does have the Face ID. As you can see, there's dual IR cameras there to do the Face ID, and then as well it has the camera. And then they didn't show this, but as well you'll notice that they have a light color detection that's there. And so what the Surface Pro did is they're introducing new technology that actually colors the screen according to the environment that you're in, so you get a more natural feel with the environment that you're in. Along the side you can sort of see the same thing. You have the headphone jack. It's got the standard volume button. They've smoothed it out quite a bit, as you can see, around the edges. It is a lot sleeker, a lot smoother. Of course, it has the classic ventilation that we're very used to, but this one is redesigned internally so that it has better ventilation than previous Surface Pro lines have been. You got the forward-facing camera as well as mic on the other side, and of course the Microsoft logo. On this side, you can see the power button as well as the two Thunderbolt ports that here on the side. These are both USB-C as well as the power port. The one thing you will notice, there is no USB-A on this. USB-A is now gone. Let's see underneath the kickstand. There you can see that they don't have the SD card capability. Used to on older Surface Pros, you've been able to put in a SD card, a mini SD card back here on the back to make it more expandable. So that is now gone off of the Surface Pro line, as you can see this there. The rest of it, Microsoft, they really took and they're focused on accessibility. And as you notice, when we took off the plastic cover, as there was a tab that was attached there, they do have accessibility options for Surface Pro, and including the capability to get an accessibility pack. So if you might have trouble, you know, with the fingers, if you're somebody that might have some issues there, being able to grab this and pull this out, you can attach a tab there. But it also extends into their packaging. You'll notice that they have the accessible packaging here, so if somebody can't reach underneath and pull that out, that they give a mechanism that you can easily grab and unpack your Surface Pro. So this is standard Microsoft, language around, what it is as far as, compliance type documents that are there. And then as well, you have the charger, right? So this has been something that's been present in the Surface line for, its introduction. Again, you can see the accessibility, that it's easy just to pull this out, right? And unbox it in a manner quite easily. It looks very similar to what you've seen in Surface Pro chargers before. It still has a USB-A on the charger, so you can plug a charging cable in there. And then again, staying with the Surface Pro magnetic charger, the side clip charger that's there, they are staying with that format. So if you have some of those already, that's supported on the new line as well. Lauren, do you want to open up the keyboard for us?
Sure. The tab again to make it easy. It's quick and easy. Remember the old Surface where we got for Christmas, they didn't have these tabs. We were just struggling trying to get it open.
Yep, a little bit more difficult.
Mm-hmm. And it makes the tab really helps. And you don't have to be extra rough with it so you don't break anything. Boom. With the pen inside, which is new. Nope, it's not another tab. It just comes.
Does it come
nope,
open?
it pulls open with the tab. And then another tab. This is the keyboard. And then the pen inside.
So continuing with the thin keyboard format that they've had on the Microsoft Surface line, but now, as you can see, the pen fits in the keyboard so that when this is attached to the Surface, which you can, as you know, you can use as a tablet or you can use it as a laptop, the 2-in-1, it fits nicely on there. The new feature with this pen, as you can see, is it's tucked away nicely as you're using it with the kickstand, but as well you can simply pull this down and it opens up and that reveals your pen. The nice thing is where this is next to the Surface, this will charge wirelessly that pen as you have it there next to the Surface, so it stays charged all the time. Previously, these pens had quadruple A batteries in them that you had to replace. I had my Surface Pro 3 for a number of years, and I only replaced that battery 3 times over the time that 7-year period that I had that. So it wasn't such a bad deal, but they've added that in. But you can see with the pen, it is they increased the sharpness of the pen. Before on the older Surface pens, you were actually able to replace the tips with different types of tips for different fills. What they've done with this is there's a new processor that is in this pen, and it has an ultrasound capability that it actually vibrates the pen and you're able to change the touch. And I suspect that they'll do more with that in the future. You're able to change the touch as you write on the Surface itself. So as you begin your inking, on the Surface line, you can take and change the feel of that pen as it draws on the Surface, and so it'll vibrate once we have that all hooked up. Again, you can see it has the click capability. You're able to erase naturally and draw naturally. It feels really nice. This there, it feels a little bit, as you can see, it's sort of the shape of a carpenter pencil. I was a little bit nervous that you know, it wasn't the round pencil that I've been used to in the Surface line, but it's really nice. It has a really good feel in your hand that's there. So I'm not, now that I've held it, I'm not as nervous about it as I was before. So I'm excited to use that. Very light pen. It is about the weight of a number 2 pencil, I would say. So it's a good, seems to be pretty good. Let's go ahead and we'll set up here with some power and we'll turn it on and sort of go through the startup experience that you get with the Surface Pro. Okay, so we just hit the power button and it's starting to load. Ooh.
That's a different load up screen.
Yeah.
Very nice animations.
Yep.
It's touchscreen. Cool.
We'll pick United States. US keyboard. You don't want to add a second keyboard. Oop. Gotta hit it. So it came up and it's loaded updates and went through a reboot process. It's been less than, I would say, 2 minutes going through the process, and we can see that it's beginning to load now back into Windows.
License agreement.
Yeah. So a pretty new experience loading up Windows 11 for your first time. It's got a very modern feel, even in comparison to Windows 10.
So now it's Face ID.
Yep.
And
well, it's
Dad
called
didn't-
Windows Hello.
Yeah, Dad didn't have this.
You got to move out of the way. All right, we have to create a pin here. So it's asking if you want to opt out of any of the privacy elements. Customize, what am I going to be using it for? You know, entertainment.
So it's family, business, creativity, school, and it has gaming too, and entertainment.
So I select the options that I'm going to be using it for. So we're going to pull out the files from my OneDrive where I have everything configured.
Oh, the Microsoft apps. Windows 11.
Talking about the new start menu, it's got the new at a glance menu that's there. It's got all the apps in Windows Store, and of course they partner now with Amazon to bring Android apps to it as well. You have Microsoft Teams now has sort of become the primary communication platform, as we know that Microsoft Teams has become very popular over the past number of years as we've done remote work, etc. And so that has sort of taken the place of Skype now in their portfolio. You have the capability to snap your various windows. This is a new option that's there that makes it very easy to go to preset snap positions for Windows. That'll be really nice. Look forward to using that, as well as accessibility. That is a big portion of Windows. Whenever they were introduced in 11, they wanted to address the 1 billion people globally that have accessibility issues, and so they've done that. So now it's the update, it's working through the install. As you can see down there on the bottom, it's on step 2 of 3, installing updates of Windows 11. So we'll just have to wait a little bit. It's going to take some time. It's only 30% complete. We will wait and come back whenever this is complete.
So it's finishing up the Windows 11 update. Whoa.
New start menu. Let's see if we get in a little bit.
Face ID.
So use Windows Hello to log in. So just logging in with your face. It's setting up.
Whoa. As
you can see, you know, with the bezel, this is a lot thinner. That's there. This side looks a little bit thinner, but it is quite a bit. So versus the Surface Pro 7, so we have a Surface Pro 7 here. We can show it alongside that. So if you move that over, right, we can show you sort of what this looks like versus the Surface Pro 7. Of course, this one has a case on it, as you can see. So very similar in size, but you can see the difference in the bezel size that's there. This one coming closer to the edge. Again, see how this works with, you know, accidental touches, or when you're holding it. You know, you always had a good spot to where you could hold the Surface on the edge on the previous versions. And so that's why I think they retain that bezel. Now I'm curious to see how they're going to adjust to that with you holding it either in a landscape or a portrait version, whether you'll be able to do that as effectively as we did with the older Surface Pro lineup there. So you can see the new start menu there as we've logged in to Windows 11. And so it should be installing my apps from the Microsoft App Store right now. You can see it has Office and many of the different apps already installed on it. So you can see the start menu here that we have open. You can simply open it with the Windows icon there. You have the search feature, which pops up, allows you to search all of your documents, apps, calendar, whatever might be there. You can see it also is internet connected, so it can connect, get internet, it can translate, look for movies, etc. online. You have your desktops, so you can set up alternate desktops if you wanted to have, you know, a desktop for work, a desktop for school, a desktop for other things for play. You could set up those desktops. This is the new panel, the new element that shows you weather, your local news, and so there's widgets that'll be available, and I'm sure they'll work on expanding that. You have your traditional file explorer that's there, so you can see the redesigned icons that are there, and it's syncing down the application, syncing down the files right now from the cloud. So some of those have already finished. You can see documents, so it's bringing down pictures as well as the items on my desktop that's there. So really nice, redesigned, and as you can see, the touch points have been enhanced on here. You can see that it gives you sort of a nice grab target, and you can see the size of that. If I take and I bring it over to the side, it automatically snaps. I can take it different locations. I can also maximize and use the traditional buttons that are there. If you're in mouse mode, if I hover over those, again, I'm going to be able to take and select where I would like to snap that to. I could just go ahead and click it and maximize it full screen. If I like to do the 3/4 screen, I can do that, and then potentially pull up another application on the other side. So for instance, if I wanted to bring open the Microsoft Store, I can do the same and snap that to the other side. So it gives a really quick way for you to work with and restore your Windows. One of the nice features when you're hooking in external monitors via Thunderbolt, you're just able to plug those in and daisy chain those. It'll remember your setup of your monitors based on the configuration. You can see the Windows Store app that's there as well. and so they're bringing together a lot of their gaming platform that's there. You can see the entertainment, productivity tools, etc. So it is really trying, Microsoft is sort of building this out, and as we mentioned, it will have the Amazon store eventually coming to that soon, that you'll be able to take and load Android apps. So you'll be able, today you can run Android apps from your phone on the Surface, but it does require your phone to do that. But in the future, you'll be able to run those Android apps directly on your Surface without your phone connected. So the pin down here, so we can pull open and get access to, and you can see there quickly how it opens up the Surface app. As it's detected, I've grabbed the new Slim Pen 2. So it's asking me what hand do I write with. I'm left-handed. So you can see that there. So it's showing all the inking apps that I can open, everything from Word to OneNote to PowerPoint, being able to draw in those. So let's open up PowerPoint real quick and see what that looks like, I guess. So we have PowerPoint loaded up. You can see it's real quick and easy to draw and do different things there with that. And as well, you can erase just as quickly as you drew it. Of course, it has the selection as well. So if you draw multiple things, you want to select them, you hold down the selection and you can lasso that. You can turn it into shapes. So if I decide, hey, I want to do that as a circle, it can quickly do that. So that's a pretty neat feature. There, now I have a circle that I can move around. If I want a square, right, I can take and draw it and lasso it and then convert that into a shape as well.
I'm gonna turn it into a rectangle.
See, the rectangle. Yep. So pretty neat functionality that they've added there within Office to make it very quick for you to use while you're on the go. You have some options there within the pen to also take and give it really good tactile feed. And so we'll have to search through the Surface app here and find that. Quickly, so you can see the Surface Pen's at 91% charge, but as well I should be able to, there's pen pressure and other settings that are there. Choose which hand you write, pair pen, tactile signals. So tactile signals are currently on. While inking, you can adjust the intensity of how it feels. So if I'm taking and inking, let's say with whiteboard, so I open up whiteboard. So now I'm able to select up one of my whiteboards and I can draw, and it feels like it's writing on paper. It gives me the feel there, like it's dragging across paper. So it's pretty neat. It's got a lot of capabilities within the product there. So I'm able to adjust up, get a fatter pen. Gives me a little bit more feel as I get a thicker pen, it seems like. Definitely the harder I push, the faster I draw, I get a more intense feel of the vibration there. So Lauren, you want to try it real quick, see what it feels like?
Yeah. Whoa. It like vibrates the whole thing.
So you increase that intensity or decrease that intensity?
Yeah, you can see how it's like lighter and then you get darker. So you can really like draw with it.
Yeah, it has a really fine point there. It's pretty interesting. And of course you can erase, and you can start off with smaller eraser, as you can see, or as if you push harder or go faster, I guess it looks like, that eraser gets bigger. So it's detecting, okay, I want to erase a lot of stuff because I'm moving very quickly with the eraser. So
curve the tabs too. It used to just be like blocks of notes.
Yeah, the windows, Lauren is noticing that the window here, you can see that they've curved that in Windows 11, that the window has a new look to it, and it gives you some grab points there as you begin to touch it. You can sort of see the palette that it's on, yeah, blurred out a little bit. So that's really neat. Of course, Surface has always been great at turning handwriting into text. They've added new features there, so you can, do that when a physical keyboard isn't attached, right? You can adjust some of those things, or allow you to write with your fingertip if you want. Of course, it got Find Your Pen, so it keeps communication with the pen, and then if you ever lost your pen, you can go here and you can go and see on a map the last location your pen was. So you can do that as well. So very nice feature there, just to remind you of where your pen is. So the Surface Pro 8, as you can see, in this comparison to the Surface Pro 7, the previous generation that we had of the Surface. Of course, this one is running Windows 10. This one is the new Windows 11. Of course, with the Surface Pro here, you're going to see that this will eventually update to Windows 11 over the next months. That's there. And then as well, we can show you the Surface Go. And this isn't the Go 2, this isn't the new one. This is the older Surface Go, the Gen 1 that's there. You can see that Surface Go in comparison to both the Surface Pro 8, Surface Pro 7, and the Surface Go. So very nice lineup, really easy to use.